Gondanyamna yang garden saji kunle lakpa ye tsabi lami shabla koja sara ni lo tokpa chebara shingi lo dabang kirp jamsu jisu zomu kame Tibetan la tu samze ten ro me bisem je koja chi jingme chenze oza la koja sara dason rovi lo na chu la yors la so seta la yang tene ngaran zu ene yang nangka tanya bisem je tam je sanje je kompang tobar cha te ye che de ene ta jasi shangkyub sambi ene ta nga zo karsa goro ene lalenchi ene ta rumba ene ta tereng nga zo ene ta yang mutu chene ene shubu yes.
Once again, please give rise to the supreme of all intentions, the precious mind of enlightenment, bodhicitta, thinking that you're receiving these teachings for the sake of personally leading every sentient being as vast in number as the sky is vast to the level of Buddhahood. If that is our motivation, then we will continue these teachings on the trainings of a bodhisattva, continue going through the different stages, the levels of the practices of a bodhisattva.
Hola, so ta ene ta tela yang se ta thomar ene ta samba shangchopchi ene chenga so sem senayang da ene kono ta jachewa shangchop sem ji kono ene namgata nyam sem je tamje sanje je komba toba ja te chedo ene sembar nyambe ene thomar tangaran zoga tamja sartapje tene sembar shos.
Beginning our teachings, starting with focusing on our mindset, our intention, namely what we call the precious mind of enlightenment, bodhicitta. So the mind of enlightenment, giving rise to the mind of enlightenment, or the proper motivation, the motivation of bodhicitta. So here, engendering this as our motivation, our intention for listening to these teachings, what's called the vast mindset, the vast intention of bodhicitta. Vast in that it is connected to, it is the commitment to receive these teachings so that you can personally place every single sentient being, as vast in number as the sky is vast, in the level of complete enlightenment, the stage of Buddhahood. This is the vast mindset, the vast intention of bodhicitta. So here, initially, giving rise to this commitment, this vow to personally do this and to receive these teachings with that as your motivation.
Voilà, sotteni. Ya ta una test yani kono sartap che chene tani tes ani karma chinyam ne.
Now we'll all please meditate. Take a moment, take a minute or two to focus on our intention, our motivation, and give rise to this intention, this commitment of bodhicitta as Rinpoche just described. So now we'll meditate on this, focusing on our intention.
tening aranse xiangan dang ene niangan dang ene xiebe de dang ene sambe de dang nyamsole be de tamje la ene thomara samba changju sen di zisemba de kaichen re.
For the teacher, for the one expounding the teachings, giving instruction, for the listener, for those receiving teaching, spiritual guidance, in those contexts, as well as when you engage in your own personal practice, sit down to engage in spiritual training. Really at any time, beginning any activity, it's crucial, very important that you take a moment to begin that activity by giving rise to bodhicitta, the proper motivation.
So that aranse zobo jasila lentela ta khatan sabje som yayore ene ta zobo gata ta uyi tela semje jewi ene josheba semje uyi sheba semje ja labje sheba namba som shebi nanges ene tangbo teche josheba 다 대라양 되는 나란 속에 에네 럼바 든니 옆에 난게 다 드랑이 되는 나란 속에 타마데 에네 캡슨 로베크 되네 다 쪼고 소리야 바데 예마레스.
So the main topic of our teaching for today will be continuing with our text, discussing the practices of a bodhisattva. So as we've talked about before, our text is split up into three sections. So the main part of our text has three subsections. The first being the verses or the trainings in that focus on the cause for giving rise to bodhicitta. The second are the actual practices of engendering bodhicitta, the second subsection. And the third section are the precepts to engage in once bodhicitta is given rise to. So we've been within the context of the first of these discussing the causes for that lead to giving rise to bodhicitta. So of these causes there are 7 practices that are within this category of causes that lead to the giving rise of bodhicitta, and we have arrived at the last of these, the 7th practice. The 7th one, which is the practice, the training of going for refuge. So we'll start now with that, focusing on the practice of refuge.
다 당보 ngaran soga eni tsawa ge na rang yang khorbi zora de jingwa ye jigden la ye sushi gyobar ne depsar kang la jebna mulwi koncho jamro jase la le yin sa.
From our root text, the 7th verse reads, "Themselves captives in the prison of samsara, whom can the worldly gods protect? Therefore, to seek refuge in those who do not deceive, the 3 jewels, is the practice of a bodhisattva."
다 대라스 얘네 다 강들 다 ngaran soga jamdo se de kapso 네, 다 총말은 가라앉아 가르쳐 거래. 잽슨 로그베기. 다 단다지 오르와. 나서가 간들은 직바지 여체.
직바. 직낭 직바.
직바지 여네 다 안들 잽슨 로그고 요래.
So we need to go for refuge. So what's really the meaning behind having a need to go for refuge, to seek refuge? Really, it's contingent upon having fear of something. When you have fear, then arises the need to seek refuge from that fear.
penada chaji yabayena. Any narans negi chipayona, then membala tango banaji. Garava. Any tena yin, any tap and just a jacket is on the Santa, Zambal and the pen, capture was singing the Shui Yondwa. Any caress and a mancho chipayore. Any ching around so sog ching around any tendegin chipayore, chapsing you. Then things like capture among which caress and rang lombati yache. Any make a lombard no attack, that's open cap roaches and dog him away with us. That teach him said the pen young, so that chipachi your genes, not so caps and rogue your ass.
For example, when you have fear of an illness, some type of sickness, and based on that sickness and the fear that arises from that sickness, whether or not you have it, then you'll go rely upon a doctor, medical practitioner. You seek refuge from the doctor. Or these days, in the world, we hear a lot about refugees. Refugees, people seeking refuge. With lots of war going on in the world today, there are many that willingly leave their own land, their own country, seeking for refuge in others' lands, other countries, based on war or a threat to their life or whatever it may be. There are many people from whatever conditions that give rise to enough fear that they're willing to leave their own land, seeking refuge somewhere else. So really for us, we're in quite a similar situation. It's quite similar for us.
Da petena yins, tenita ngaranzo any tata ngaranzo chik any Jackson draw singing dayang. Teni da so what in Juchen the Rachel telling us that Rogo Yore. That and so what that Jamrug juice, Carsa. Any Jute. Just some cellular Jipata. Any the Apatan Ninjas. That's all Jamro duties on the Yakur. Tinani, and what was in Jipa Yakurs.
So we can really relate our practice of going for refuge to such examples, actually. So we're going for refuge, we're seeking refuge. So in order to go for refuge, take refuge, there are particular causes and conditions that are required. We need to have the requisite causes and conditions gathered together to be able to go for refuge. So first, the causes that need to be there for going for refuge. So generally, it's taught that there are three primary causes that lead one to go for refuge. And they are fear, faith, and compassion. And the first of these, the first cause for going for refuge, needs to be fear.
Start the Regins on Stang to Jepson Rosaga Yorda. Natsu Jipatan, that don't have Sandra. Jipate, Jepson Rossi Yorteg. Jep took Yodame. No, Ta, Tango Della, young, that I get you go.
So we're going for refuge. Who is it that we're going to refuge in? What is the object of our refuge that we're seeking refuge in? So our fear, our suffering, and our fear. So we need a refuge that can alleviate this, that will be able to serve as a proper refuge. So initially we need to examine this. We need to check this for ourselves. Is the source of refuge, the object of our refuge, capable or not?
Object and not so Jepson to say Yortella, Jepson Sona. Chepti, the name around Zogopena, and not so Jep Totomato, Andarwa. Ta, they get the name as Jepti, 양다 인다미 잽디 로바 용도 메요 나서 파리 잽죠 근데 코랑 가서 잽마도 가서 루이야 그러와 잽디 타토 인다미 나서 따지대 땅고 다 나서 때 낭바게 돼야 돼서 미나도 다 나서 기타 정말 잼도 생기대 망고를 도와야 나서 소소다 잼도 잽스노서 여매지 깨자라면도 근데 정말 소소소소를 잽스노서 여러와 이내야 다 양 옛날도 소그 잽스노서 요한테 따지 땅 조미도 간단 가서 대바장장 얘는 아주 나도 때 시작이면도 가르에서는 강나 잽는 물러비 세도 왔다 잽되게 가서 잽줘나 그 가서 땡땡 로고 말아봐야지 다 로고 말하면서 가르에서 그 잽투고 그래 봐 다 채들라 가데 콜 잽송 가서 채들라 되는 가서 가르에서 직팬 도고 요네요 잽투고 요네요 치마 잽투고 그래 양 치마 잽 맞으면 걸리서 그래 양 바돌라 잽투고 그래 간들 다 될라 되는 알아서 그 로아 메나 얘네 잽들 말아봐야 봐 그래봐 되는 가서 너쳐 바르솜도 되는 알아서 그 잽되게 되는 가서 잽투고 요나 되는 잽대 양다 임바지 켈렌쇼 그래 되는 잽대 탈속제 줘 그래 가르치는 가서 됐어 이나야 잽되게 가서 당보대 잽투고 요메 다 되는 양 알아서 따제 당고고 요랬어
So how to examine our source of refuge, the object of our going for refuge? Is the object of our refuge like qualified? Can it alleviate our fear and suffering? Can it do the job? Is it an authentic object of refuge, an authentic source of refuge? Is it undeceiving? Here our text says, the three jewels who do not deceive. Can it provide us ultimate refuge? And if it can't, then if it can provide some sort of temporary, superficial refuge, then really it's deceptive. It can't provide ultimate refuge. At some point we'll be left behind. So in many traditions there is some form of practice of going for refuge, of seeking refuge. But in the Buddhist tradition it's quite unique. In the Buddhist tradition, this emphasis of analyzing, investigating the source of refuge, it's really unique to the Buddhist tradition. Most traditions, or many traditions, you go for refuge, or you seek refuge in the Almighty or something, but you're really not allowed to ask too many questions, to really think about it too much. Through some form of blind faith, without much investigation, or any investigation at all, you're to seek refuge, to devote yourself to whatever that entity, thing may be. But in the Buddhist tradition, it's not that way. We're specifically instructed to investigate, analyze, really think about what it is that we're taking refuge in. Is it qualified? How is it qualified? And so forth. Which is why here, therefore, seek refuge in those who do not deceive the three jewels. So, analyzing in this way. So, to those who do not deceive. So, there are many things that you can be protected from. Things that can protect you from various problems that arise in this life, that can offer you refuge just for this single given lifetime. So if you go for refuge in such a thing and then you die, and whatever that entity was no longer has power to give you refuge, then it is deceptive. It was not an authentic means for refuge. So likewise, can the thing provide you refuge in the intermediate state after death, before the next life begins? Then likewise, is it an authentic refuge for the next life to come? So the three jewels, that is what they are. They provide refuge for this life, the bardo, the intermediate state in between, and the life to come, and lives after that. So in that way, then, that is the definition of an authentic, genuine, undeceiving, and ultimate source of refuge. The refuge that provides refuge forever, this life after death, and for the life to come.
다당나서 다 잡여도 무슨 거야 말다. 강다더니 잡사게 요때 다다가 무슨 거야 말해. 배는 가서 트리주스라고 다다 해게 말다.
맞아.
다다 해게 말해. 기타는 그다 잡로 깨제. 잡사로
체탕 기관.
다 대시에 되거라. 다 나츠게 기과 좀어데 가르래서나 세다. 에네 니가 네 나츠 기과 망고요래 대와 다 빼나 에네 기과 지도라서 망고요래 타도 그 기과지나 다 나랑 좀 걸어와 걸비기니 동아리요래 걸방 내 성근 기과요래 내가
인성기
야야 니네 라인 걸어와서도 걸어와긴 기과요래 걸방 내 성근 기과요래 그래와 다 걸비기 기과 되래 나저 되래 지 나랑 저거네 다 로비 차도 캡슨 로고 거래. 당고다 가서 니과데. 무슨 거라? 라소사. 다 텔랑아란 쪽거네. 니과텔레 다 가서 롤고고요나. 당보 캡슨 로사데. 코랑 코발레 롤고고요. 그래봐. 코랑 코하고 마롤레 코르베게 나오더니 게 알아서 코라에 냠도 코딩에 있는데 가서 캡도 보면 와. 배나 척을 먹지 코르고요나. 되니 나라야 되니 가르사 나 잡로지 세나 콜 냠는 주나 콜 콜도 그러마도 콜 되니 가르사 그러거든 요마로 다 양나 콜랑 봐 철레 되니 로차조지 내가 양나 콜 철레 돌리게 내가 양해지 내가 철레 깨를 희행게 가래이나 되니 스밍시게
Michael Phelps 보기를
대지이나 땅을 잡로지에서는 되고요. 가래서는 콜가나 대메나 되네 코야 콜딩에 나야 냠는 주나 되네 냥이 니가 냠을 콜을 마도 되네 그냥 가서 껴통 봐봐.
Last David. So up to this point, we're just deciding on what the source of refuge, like what the characteristics need to be. We haven't yet identified it. So we're thinking, what does our source of refuge need to be like? What are the characteristics of it? And first, needing to recognize our own fears. What are we afraid of? What exactly are we seeking refuge from? So at this point, we're seeking refuge from fear. So we have all different types of fears that can arise. On the temporary level, temporary situational fears of whatever different types. Tibetan tradition, we have the 16 fears and more than that. All different types of temporary fears can arise. Then the ultimate fear is the fear of samsara itself, namely the fear of the suffering of the lower realms of samsara. So first we need to recognize this. This is what we need to transcend. This is what we're seeking refuge from. Seeking to transcend, to be liberated from all temporary fears and the ultimate fear of remaining in samsara. So we really need to transcend samsara. So in order to find a source of refuge that has the power to do this, then we're going to need a source of refuge that themselves has transcended the fear of samsara, has transcended, been liberated from samsara. Which is why here in our text, themselves captive in the prison of samsara, who can the worldly gods protect? So our source of refuge needs to no longer be captive within the prison of samsara. It's analogous to being swept away by a river. So if I've fallen into a river and the river's carrying me away and somebody comes along, they're in the river with me, and if I seek refuge from being carried away, drowning in the river from someone else that likewise is being carried away by the river, then really serves no function. They do not have the capacity to offer refuge. So you're going to need, continuing the river analogy, you're going to need someone that has already escaped from the river, is on the shore. They can help you get out. Or somebody that, or something that has the capacity, has the power to free you from the river, get you out of the river. Lopan said, a good swimmer. And I said, Michael Phelps can get you out of the river. Otherwise, as much as, you're... there's the platitudes of yes, I can help you. If you're still stuck in the river together, you're going to be carried off together.
Yeah. Tende doa. Tende la ta ji lan zhe wo zong jie, lan zhe wo zi jian de jiao shi dong ye re jia wo le shi. Ina yang ta de so ni. Nga zi jiao shi dong ye sam ni nga ran zi bu sam de ma do, ko zo la xi ba yang yo ma re, go ge yang ma re, go kan yang pen ge ma re shi. Yang ka ji ji gen ba ge. Ta ji nga ran zo ge ji ge ne ya. ane tendawo yorwa pena tsangpa drawo chamjo drawo tene jikjabela desola tene desola ya japsun drone ane ngaso tenesi jega yore ina ya ta jikjabela dang yola yibda ta tendawo tene yorwa
jikjabela dang
yola yibda
yola shibda local yola shibda las
local deri
las
다 대소라고 대소스 그래봐 직계나 니가 때지 편 거그래 직계나 드레인 레갈람로 용야라고 되네 다 때스 직가란 즈페네 직되네 송포야라고 때스 되네 직계리 저트비야다 코디 저트야 요마라 코조 초콜데다 직바래 와서 너 코조 다동양 되네 나서를 코조 쪼요 베나다 가시 직가라 저거 라당
나서 레켜와
응 베나가 좀 직된 다 라당 되네 러당 되네 여러봐 그래서 망치와 얘네 나라 저거 베나 러생에서 드노르도 와
lu
드노르 와
dun animals
야야 그래서 다 나서를 쪼요래 얘네 때서 배트께서 나서 때네 코소를 하고야 담결 좀 물려 여러봐야 근데 그래서 다이는 코소로 페널로 돼서 지어트야 여러봐 근데 소게 가서 다도 겹투고 민도와 나서 때네 다 치미 동할래 겹투고 말해 송거 동할래 겹투고 말해 바드 동할래 겹투고 말해 직계는 안한서 양 레와트네 여러와 페널로 돼서 지켜봐지 되네 지나지 나관이 잡아봐 그래라고 그래와 얘네 양 된다고 지 자발람로 용거래라고 라던 레트솔로 소가 표나
라는 드레드
근데 나한테 때스까지 니가 펜 토그랜다고 이나야 됐었다 야보 따제 따나 근데 거저 가서 다도그 동아리 접두고 말해 니가 그 동아리 접두고 말해 다도그 동아리다 가와 바도를 접두고 말해 치마 접두고 말해 근데 손자 거저라 접수 손나 근데 가서 흘려가래 센데라 치마를 바도를 두고 매봐 손자 말 접두고 매봐 손자 근데 접대 다도양 말해 접대 로아 매봐양 말해 대마세 때는 접대 파체 양다양 많이 봐 차로도 와서 어다 때렸어
두드러 대기 거라 두드러
베나다 망보지 지 란다고 요란다고 런다고 근데 접선 도그래 이나야
루나 베소라
베나다 라 세우도 망치왕아서다 이다네 그래 칼 주비 이다세 그래 베나 자르본 티랑다고 소망치와 이다래 로 생에도 소망치와 드노래 오야 다 대소다고 대소 아니 말아서 되니 되니 코주다 되는 송도와 라양 코비 쪼를 끼는 직대 라이 수직 껴버는 생인데 다 때래
So there are many worldly traditions that take all sorts of different things as their sources of refuge that they supplicate to, pray to. Some traditions of praying to inanimate things, taking a mountain or the sky, space itself, a forest, various different inanimate things, placing one's trust, seeking refuge in those things, praying to those things. So there are such traditions in the world that do such crazy things, but really, praying to a mountain, the mountain has no sentience of itself. It's all just going on in your own mind. The mountain isn't doing anything at all. Really, the mountain can bring you no refuge, no benefit at all whatsoever. Also, there are worldly or spiritual traditions, religious traditions that seek refuge in worldly deities, taking refuge in Brahma or Indra, praying, supplicating to Brahma or Indra. So this is done. People do this, pray to them, pray to various different worldly deities, deities that are still within the realms of samsara. Pray, supplicate to make offerings to various local deities, the local spirits of a given area. So doing that then, there can be some semblance of temporary benefit that can come. Immediate situations can be benefited. It can make you lucky. It can, increase your good luck in a given immediate situation. It might help your business. So they're capable of doing that. But such deities, such gods as those themselves are not, are still within samsara, have yet to transcend, be liberated from samsara, liberated from the world, from the universe themselves. So then, of course, they cannot offer any type of ultimate refuge, the ultimate refuge that we're seeking, that we need, not being free themselves. They cannot offer any guarantee of refuge from the suffering of samsara, namely the suffering of the lower realms. Making offerings to various different deities and spirits, offerings to the Nagas, Naga spirits, to local spirits. Really, and often in such cases, these sources of refuge are actually in worse situations than we are as human beings. Nagas are, most Nagas are classified as within the animal realm. Making offerings to them, then yes, they can serve you like an animal can serve you. They can provide some type of little bit of benefit, but nothing lasting. And many of the spirits or the deities that are made offerings to, that supplications are made to, themselves are classified within the realm of Yidaks, the hungry ghost realm, requiring these offerings to sustain themselves. Making such offerings to them, then they can benefit us to some degree, but really our human situation is much better off than who we'd be going for refuge in. So when we think about this, these various different other systems, traditions of going for refuge or seeking help from fear, problems that you're having, seeking help, seeking refuge, benefit from other sources, then when you analyze it, then you can see that such sources are not an ultimate, not an authentic means for refuge. Themselves still stuck in samsara, they offer no means, they have no ability to alleviate the ultimate, or ultimately alleviate suffering, meaning liberate from samsara. And really can only help on very temporary levels. So in that way, then, they are deceptive. Who can the worldly gods protect? Therefore, to seek refuge in those who do not deceive, the three jewels. So going for refuge in sources of refuge that can't themselves really offer any source of refuge makes them deceptive sources of refuge. They are deceptive, not ultimate sources of refuge, not the authentic, genuine sources of refuge.
알았어. 근데 성당 다 말한 쪽에 애니 다 강은 가서 겹스러서 때라 당고 짬니 가운데 가나 속었더니 짬니 때라스 줄라 다 가랬다 그러서는 쳔바 쩨바 네바 솜 위험했다 그러서 쳔바 매나 가서더니 짭스로는 그런 가야 시가 말아 아니 대나게 때문에 쳔바세도 뒤집어 말해 배나 제다 쳔바스 추탐지지 니로 시도봐
추탐지 니로
뱀바 추탐지지 뱀베 니로 시바 제다 지니
주탁지니 라스
뭐야
탐지 겸바 니데
야야 어때 대답보다 제다 지니기 쳔비기 쳔바여봐 양 쳔바여봐 잠지 팽거 말해라 와 다시 메기 샘시바 지부지요나 쳔바 니 고도와 근데 쩨와 고거래 쩨와 메나 아니 당 나란저 배는 쳔바도 대신 레드 솔라 요르바 맞아 코로나 때에서 야보지 제바 편에 때에서 야보지 양 거서 마가반도 어제는 너가 제대로 제거도 봐 대다고 많이 봐 쩨와 여봐 쩨와서도 쩨와 돼서 조림해 봐 샘기에 담지라 마지 그 버직도 쩨와 여봐 느바요도 랑 코알이 dorsim바 yen 코알이 저비 느바요바 오다 덴데지 여다메
랑 셴바니가
뭐야
도와
이솜 켄세 느솜고 느바요나 데니 가서 쩨들 러바요 말에 대대다 나랑 그 쩨대다 건초 솜 석도와 다 가서 건초 솜 대라 다 따야래 다 당보 쩨딩 알아서 다 타도도 상지를 봐다 상지대 오늘 쳔바 요르베스 다 상지게 추담지 제다지니 쳔비기 쳔바도 아니 상지라 심지에 담지라 때네 마지그 버짓다도 빼나 코랑 드라라야 아니 제와게 닝게도가 빼나 랍진라고 아니 제와게 때네 말한 쪽까지 때네 제와 요래 아니 네바 요래 다 코카라선데 지금 알아서 아니 랑 콜비기 솔리 돌 옌 콜비기 데네 트로비 네바 요바 손상 라서 근데 손상 다 가서 짭대 산제대 뭐니 짭스 존나 데네 띵아서 쳇텔라야 너사 말에 바돌라야 겹톱사리 치말라양 겹톱사리 근데 손상 근데 그 고니 데네 이 칩이 그 고니 다 가서 삼었다니 데네 짭스 로고 봐 시럽지 줘도 집에 고니 짭스 로고래 마도 가서 기타 가라서 그 짭스 초세나 근데 가서 양 티 가서 그 애니 문이기
이체 대바기토
데니 데니 이체 드냐가 말해 양 근데 손다 다 가라서 근데 손다 가나 짭나 대체 가나 짭나 멀어와서도 단 대체 봐도 som도 멀어봐 인상 다 가서 짭고 솜될 다 나기 당고로 와 다 산지대 다 알아서 겹치 타르톡바시 작이 여봐 되는 예식 고니 땡아도 겹스 준 거요레스 다 겹니바데 다 가서 산지를 겹서 소나 산지 가르쳐 버서나 양 산지가 알아서 야도 요바라고 제네 맞다 오다 신감라야 요기야 전에 동할 세 대와 때 근데 산지 제요 말했어 그래봐 산지 가르치고 열서나 나는 저라 탑에 탑된지 탑아랑 라리 시버지 손어와 산지게 죄됐던 아니 맞어 람데 땡고래 람데 땡 라고 산지게 지야요 말아
람트
데르데 람 땡바데 산지 랑양 맞어도 찍바래 그래봐 맞어도 찍바지니 코랑 그 쩌탐지 빵이요 내 탐지 뭔데 저렇게 람 마노르바 오다 저런서 내 맞이 아스 내 쟤는 약간 내려요 내 쟤아 내 쟤는 요데 내려 타버렸어 마노르바 때바데 추르도 와
마노르바 템바데
마노르바 때바데 추데 데르데 다티 당은에게 산지 랑나 땅 가서 겹서 소나 다 산지가 알아서라 땜비기 람 추데 되네 다 냠슬라요 거요 대접니 받으러
라스 So none of those sources of refuge will do. So for our source of refuge, we know what we need to be liberated from. So our source of refuge has to have a few things. Who we go for refuge in has to have wisdom, love, and power, or capacity. These are the three categories of necessary qualities that the source of refuge has to have. Wisdom, love, and power. So wisdom, and just having any one of them won't suffice. We need all three of these. So when we say wisdom here, we're referring to the wisdom of the understanding of the true nature of reality of all phenomena. The wisdom of the realization of the truth of dharmata, the true nature of phenomena. The wisdom of the twofold omniscience. The wisdom of understanding things in their nature and understanding things in their multiplicity. So understanding the essence or nature of phenomena and also understanding all phenomena in their individual multiplicity. So that's the wisdom that's needed. But just having wisdom won't suffice. Just having wisdom, just having a source of refuge that knows us, can know our mind and know things, won't be enough. There are spirits, demons, worldly deities that also have some semblance of this same type of wisdom, that have the power of clairvoyance, have a degree of understanding of the nature of reality. And such deities as that, then...
Reality, the person's mind.
Yeah.
그래서 니로 시에 말해.
시에 말해.
이행이 샘시네.
샘시.
뭐야?
라스.
중종지 시기도 코로나 약보 제거도나 켜봤지.
Huh? What?
니로 시는 기봐라. 니로 수시는 잡힌다 좋아.
Can Buddhist yore. Okay, yeah. So these spirits, they do not have an understanding, a realization of the true nature of reality. If they do have that type of wisdom, then yes, you can go for refuge in them. They have the wisdom or the knowledge of knowing the minds of others, clairvoyance. So does such deities or spirits as that. Then you make offerings to them, then they're happy, they're delighted by your offerings, and they grant you a boon, and they treat you well. You don't make offerings to them, and then they're upset with you, they punish you. So then the second characteristic is needed, the characteristic of love, enlightened love. So a love that is completely without bias, a completely unbiased love. A love like a mother for their only child, in an unbiased way for all beings. So that's the type of love that's needed. And then on top of that, we need the capacity, the actual power. Namely, the power of liberation, the power to liberate oneself, and the power to liberate others. So these are the characteristics that define the source of refuge that we need. So that which has these characteristics is what we call the three jewels. So therefore, seek refuge in those who do not deceive the three jewels. The three jewels being that which has these three characteristics. So the ultimate, so taking refuge, then the ultimate result of refuge is the full realization of enlightenment, the stage of Buddhahood. Buddhahood, which is the full manifestation of all three of these aspects of wisdom, love, and power. So the Buddha, the stage of complete enlightenment, has the omniscience, this twofold omniscience, this wisdom capacity. And the Buddha also has completely unbiased love. Unbiased love like a mother for their only child for all sentient beings, without any bias, pervasive, unbiased love. As we see in the life story of the Buddha Shakyamuni. For example, the story of Buddha's cousin Devadatta, who was evil to him his whole life. The Buddha even had this profound, unbiased love for Devadatta. And the Buddha likewise has the power to grant refuge in for this life, for the bardo, for the intermediate state after death, as well as for the next life and the lives to come. So we need to contemplate, analyze in this way. What do we need to be, why are we seeking refuge? What are the characteristics of the source of refuge? The Buddha possesses these characteristics. Recognizing this, and then recognizing that the Buddha as the ultimate, undeceiving, authentic, genuine source of refuge, then with this thinking in that way, we give rise to this sense of deep trust, a certainty in this. And based on having that trust, then we go for refuge. Then we seek refuge, recite the prayer, say the prayer, go for refuge. If we don't go through this process, if we don't engender this type of trust or deep certainty, faith, trust in the fact that that we're seeking refuge in the authentic, ultimate source of refuge, then it's just mouthing words. It's not effective. So go through this process, give rise to this sense of trust, and therefore seek refuge in those who do not deceive, the three jewels. So the Buddha has these qualities, is an authentic, ultimate source of refuge. But how is it that the Buddha provides refuge? So I take refuge in the Buddha, and then the Buddha flings me like a stone into the pure realms. I'm liberated, freed from samsara. I wish that would... no, it doesn't work that way. So the Buddha himself said, I have reached liberation. I show you the path to liberation, but liberation itself is dependent upon you. So the Buddha has taught the path, the authentic path, that if traversed, leads to liberation, leads to the freedom from samsara. So this authentic path is the Dharma, the second source of refuge, the second jewel. So the Buddha began as in the same situation as us, and traversing the path to freedom, the path to liberation, arrived at the state of complete enlightenment, Buddhahood. So having perfectly traversed the path to liberation and reached liberation, has a perfect understanding of what to do and what not to do, traversing the path to liberation. And these instructions, the Buddha is saying, enter the path to liberation, don't do that, do this, act like this, be careful of that. If you go that way, it's dangerous, and so forth. Then that showing of that path is the Dharma. So the unerring teaching of the Buddha, showing the path to liberation, that is the Dharma, is what we need to take into our own experience, engage in practice.
Handa tene ngaran zogata koncha somse dirwa ta kanda ngaran zo kyaps khalin do gorusna ore ta gendun senge dirwa gendun senge de ta lam nyamsul landing etere ta chude nyamsul landing ta dona nga zu kyaps ro senge de sanji de nga zu ta gegens khelen senge yorwa sanji la ta ba chude nga zu lam Peda ngaran tsogotene ta dubyate sanjete drop go. Pena sanjete drop go yo na. Tene peda ngaran sacha chiglo pena ta drop go yo na wa. Nga so ta peda dini ngaran so ene ne yo drop chiglo drop go yo na. Ene nga so lamde manor ba. Yako chikene tene ngaran so lamde drop yo na tene nga so ma do lep drop wa. Ten drop chute lamje so do khele. Gendo de troji so khele ba te ta jamro senge de te.
Kelempa sunde.
Kelempa tisonde. Hola so ta dis dude kadresena. Ngaran so sam majij part. Ngaso tata ngaso pedikesere ene gegen godo wa. Ngaso gegen ma cha ba. Pede ngaso lobra chin no zuina. Ngaso gegen ma cha ko pa do ngaso gegen de ten godo wa. Ngaso gegen cha so na ya gegen de goyo mara. De na yin ji ngaso 장지 산지 마습지 파르도 어려와 된데네 올라서 다 된데스 지 토나
Less. So the 3 jewels. Now the jewel of the Sangha. The Sangha are those individuals that are currently residing on the path, the authentic path, the path of Dharma, the individuals that are engaging in Dharma. So in going for refuge, we accept the Buddha as the teacher. We accept the unerring path, or the Dharma as the unerring path, the authentic path. So the thing to get, the thing that we're after, the thing to be accomplished is Buddhahood, complete enlightenment. So if you're going to be traveling somewhere, if you're going to get something, then you need the perfect path, an unerring path, in order to arrive at your destination. So our destination being the achievement of Buddhahood. Really similar to traveling anywhere. If you're going to New York, then you need to find the correct path, the correct way to get there. And then if you follow that correct way to get to New York, it is certain that you will arrive there. So So it's like having a map for your path to get somewhere. So you check your map. You have your destination. Where am I going to be going? I've looked at my map. Then if I follow the path as it's been laid out in the map and as I've checked it on the map, then I will arrive there. Same with the Dharma, the unerring path of the Dharma.
I think Rinpoche is saying GPS.
GPS?
Yeah.
Sapta? Maybe a GPS map or something. Just any kind of map. So and then we accept the Sangha as our companions along this path. So really the practice of taking refuge is accepting the Buddha as our teacher, accepting the Dharma as our unerring path, and accepting the Sangha as our companions along that path. Really, that is the practice of refuge. That's what it means to go for refuge. So for what duration do we go for refuge? Well, we seek refuge in this way until complete enlightenment is attained, until Buddhahood is reached. Until Buddhahood is reached, until the thing to be achieved has been achieved, we still need to rely on something. Just like in school. If you're a student in school, as long as you're a student, you need to have a teacher. You need to rely upon the teacher. Once you've become the teacher, then you no longer need to rely on the teacher. You are the teacher. But as long as you're still in school, still a student, you need the teacher to rely upon. So in the same way, until complete enlightenment is reached, we need the 3 jewels to be relied on. We need to seek refuge. Columbus?
Columbus.
Dutende Yuki.
Oh, the Columbus in the Cotambo lessons. Then America let. And they call Kanga, Hakon, and they call Romotic Saturday, they call Yanger Pandone, then you make that 2 Oh, then they call any dead over the ta. Naranzo, then Shakatobade, and that dead over the any Sanje Balanta, Quantambo, Columbia after this. Then that shoot it in the total make as a maple or semare.
Kogi drew Mayflowering. Nina Pinta Santa Maria. Last.
Oh, that was a chute that to the door. Then it truth it, that was a Europe the myths of America myths of Ganga, then I said so. That the American Malapat goes to the Godo.
Drew day, I'm subject. Last. Boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then that the any chute that to the door. That truth it, I thought then it's such a dilata, and that mother but Godo. Then it dropped your was. Truth tanging major was. To the Tang color young and take Gendon over. Take the name as a drop. Take men as a letter mare. Tango meeting as a lambda jet. Niba the name as a Sata de la Tenant to sign the jet. Then it to the color jet. Oh, yeah, that does it. 대대더니 가서 다다양 콜었더니 지는 지도 가장 가서 더니 다코 배쳐서네 가서 뒤에는 지 콜었더니 가서 미세 그걸 쉬고도 다 된다고 인사했어.
So we just had a Columbus Day, celebrating Christopher Columbus, the first to discover America, besides everybody that was here already. So really this process of going for refuge is kind of analogous to this process of discovering America, discovering a new land. So first, someone needed to arrive first, get to the destination first. So like Columbus arriving here first. Somewhat similar to the Buddha Shakyamuni arriving at the land of complete enlightenment, Buddhahood. Having arrived there, then so Columbus arrives here, and so he's arrived in the new land, and then he sits down and he draws his map. Okay, here's how I got here, here's what it's like here. Now others can follow me too, and then returned back in his ships, whatever they were, not the Mayflower, Nina, Pinta, Santa Maria, anyway. Returned in his ships with his map, having drawn that out. So that's like Shakyamuni, having arrived at Buddhahood, then could draw the map of the authentic path to liberation, to the state of enlightenment. So then the Dharma is like the ship. Like the ship, once the map has been drawn, then one can ride in the ship to the new land of enlightenment. But in order to traverse the ocean, to successfully cross the ocean, even if one has a ship, then one needs somebody to steer the ship, a captain, somebody that knows how to guide the ship, follow the map, and that is the Sangha. So the initial person or being showing the path, like Columbus is like the Buddha, then having the map, then based on the map, then you can find the ship. Having the ship, you can successfully cross as long as somebody knows how to drive the ship. You have the Sangha that's like the captain. So really maybe it's quite similar to the story of Columbus, or at least part of the story of Christopher Columbus. So maybe quite similar, Rinpoche says. Even up to today, we're still talking about celebrating this guy, remembering this guy, some of us.
야. 이니 다 다티 주당고대 시에서 다 주니바데 가서 접선도 주니바데 가르스나 기과 때네 다 대바 다 대바 시에서 베나다 상지대 가서 중생 시지는 대바 거와 숨바디 닝게도 다 나랑 동하리 여반나 인스 다 semje tam지야 동하리요래 그래와 나랑 대반도 반나기 semje tam지 대반도고요래 동하면도 반나기 동한도가 대때 나랑 기보 되네 양 기보 전에 탈선아요 되네 팬도요 말아 나랑 게 나무에 빈자 파마 강갈 되나 대때 되네 나랑 저거 숨바데 닝게서도 염로그 니바데 숨바데 양 semje tam지 양 되네 답변께서 아니 네갑다 타도그 당가서 동안에 돌네 타도 상격도 비치다 다들 인기지 주스마데 잠을 주스마
Kichedu, Kyabsu Jogyo.
다들 다 잠으로 주스 당고 지과 대바스 인기세 봐
Las.
대신 자 랑도 지고 많이 봐다 semje tam지 다들 저 피과 첨보르다 피과 첨보지 그런 거 같지.
So our three causes, the three primary causes that lead to going for refuge. So we talked about fear, and the second one, faith. So really we've covered faith. Faith, giving rise to a faith through reasoning, a reasoning faith, understanding who the sources of refuge are, the reasonings behind going for refuge in the Buddha and so forth. understanding that, then giving rise to a reason-based faith. So then the third primary cause needed for going for refuge, the cause of compassion. So compassion here, compassion meaning the recognition that I don't want to suffer. Just as I don't want to suffer, all sentient beings don't want to suffer. All sentient beings, just like me, want to be free of suffering, the causes of suffering, and have happiness, contentment, or well-being. We're all equal in this regard. So therefore, all being equal in this way, then if just I, by myself, attain liberation, attain refuge, enlightenment, while leaving all those that, leaving everyone behind, leaving my loved ones behind, my family, friends, parents, children, then that is really of no benefit. It's just not okay. So for that reason we have this third cause, the cause of compassion. The cause of compassion, which is I'm going for refuge for the sake of all sentient beings, every single sentient being. I'm seeking refuge so that myself and every single sentient being can be freed of all temporary suffering, free of ultimate suffering, and for the sake of reaching complete enlightenment. So really this third cause is particular to the Mahayana, the great vehicle.
Teni ta kitang ina ta ngaran zog ta di tamji ta nga so pache monro re. Ala so teni ta tini ngaran zog ta chi nga so kitang ta ngaran zog eni ta ta nguyin lam na. Te ta kitang ngaran zog ta nangba. Sanji ba tela yang ta ngaran zog chi eni 캡슨 로야데 다 참마지 가서 기관하고 저러고 이나야 캡슨 로야기 때라 다양 지가서 로덥 최종 요래다 와 다지 가시 되네 다 ngaran 속 니가 그때는 더다라고 치라 다 니가 갈라다 매 직다 된도 토리 그 공방 토바 잠지 더든 이야기지 다 제탐지 제스가 좋더니 집을 좋았어요 야 랑찌고 다 쟁아서 콜와라더니 지과제 콜와라다 쟁아랑 속에 애니 다 탄도 제제네 되니 배께서 랑이 끼고 양 삼호 땅에 제스다 야 타발로 다는 양이 되네 애니 다 녀랑서 그러와 애니 다 기당 기분 좀 보세요 나서스 다 되네 다 대답을 빼는 기세래 애니 랑당 기피스 되네 semje 탐체 다 산지지 고버 두벽 애니 다 조고 다 알아서 산지지 고버 터버 제바데 다 로체모스 다 인도 되네 기브 체모스 그래 너나 되네 다 텔라 종 알아서 조고 다 semje세도 소탐지 다 조고 빼는 기세래 애니 다 인급 체정다 오급 체정다 되는 때지는 용거 열와 될때 된대기 돌았다 배는 간사 돌아야 민다가 열와 될때 다 나랑서 다른데 좀 다다 아니 다 특별 첨보이나 되는 좀이 그 건데 되니 이젠더레스
Ngandro dang moshi dang mo chutang ato the chadang ngandro re in moshi
다다 이니 시에요
las
다다 시에메
So for Buddhists, all Buddhists have refuge. So whatever particular Buddhist tradition or individual that is Buddhist, we have this refuge. It follows that you have a refuge. So the same in that regard, but there is a difference in the degree of the strength of one's heart that one goes for refuge in. So there's this differentiation made between the power of one's motivation, or the power of one's mind, the power of one's heart, with which they go for refuge. So some individuals seek refuge simply to gain a better next rebirth. The temporary benefit of gaining rebirth in one of the higher realms, being reborn as in the God realms or as a human being to ensure their rebirth in the higher realms. So seeking refuge with that degree of motivation, that degree of motivation, power of one's mind, that category is, such individuals are called the lower beings, or the going for refuge with the motivation of lower or lesser beings. So next is going for refuge with the motivation for gaining liberation for oneself alone, with the endeavoring and focusing on gaining one's own liberation, one's own freedom from samsara. So this is the type of motivation, the type of motivation found within the vehicle of the solitary, or listeners and solitary realizers, the Shravakas and Prachika Buddhas, which is the, categorized as the going for refuge with the power of mind of a middling being, or middling level being. So then, going for refuge in order for oneself and all sentient beings to gain complete enlightenment is the going for refuge as an individual with great courage and great strength of heart and mind. And such individuals are the great individuals. So we have the lesser, the middling, and the great individuals. That's how the practice of refuge is categorized here, based on one's motivation, or the strength of one's mind or heart. So when we talk about one's motivation that one goes with, it's really divided based on the power of one's mind, the strength of one's intention. That's how we differentiate the motivation, or the bodhicitta. So this third class, the class of the great beings with the strongest motivation, is falls within the category of the Mahayana, the great vehicle. And within the Mahayana, the primary emphasis, the primary motivation, is always primarily focused on the benefit of others, not oneself.
가세도
그런가?
그럼 가시지만
가시면 돼. 뭐야? 알았어. 다 뒤에는 잠으로도 사와지. 다 뒤닝아랑 저 아니 다 바제 뒤다 무이지라 때는 양아랑 저거다 양 되라. 다 sabji kashi ko wangdo chena tene dala jiva somji rinpa chene yagdo. Ta jiva somji rinpa andra wachi yaba ina, ta tene nga chokara sene hindu zo ki nga son tonga na dikpa lejin riba tupi son, kaya sa sola papche dikpa li nangwa mali jasi lale yin sene de, tene ta jiva chungu galam yaga yore, yang 대답이 이니 땅아서 기당게 다 특과침 벌람 코나라 지나 되니 땅아랑 저거 대답을 강들이야 되니 땅아랑 저거 애니 저거 애니 다 개와 애니 땅아서 레개와 드롭 먹여봐 빵 대답을 다 뺏기서리 애니 대답을 다 빼지 랑도로 소리게 만들 받아야 돼. 야, 야세 장초 선비게. 애니 땅아랑 저거 람지지야 돼야. 뭐야 차고요레스. 애니 땅인데 야기 애니 지와들 요는 나오는.
So that concludes our teaching on refuge. Now our next verse. So the main practices. The main practices of our text can be taught primarily in two different ways. So the main practices it can be taught by dividing them among the three different types of beings: the lower, middling, and greater. Or it can also be all taught within the context of the Mahayana, solely focusing on the Mahayana. So if we're teaching this text or dividing the main practices of the text within the three types of beings, then this next verse is focused on or pertains to the lesser beings. So we'll read it. Verse 8. The suffering of the lower realms, so difficult to bear, is the fruit of wrong deeds, so the Buddha taught. Therefore, even at the cost of your life, never to commit negative actions is the practice of a bodhisattva. So we can understand this to be a teaching pertaining to the practices of the first type of beings, the lesser beings. But also we can understand it to be solely focusing on the within the context of the Mahayana, the great vehicle. Within the Mahayana, we talk about or emphasize the taking up the actions of virtue and abandoning the actions of non-virtue. The teachings, the precepts on perfectly taking up what is to be taken up and abandoning what is to be abandoned. So and that's what this verse is pointing out. Acting, engaging in virtue, and abandoning non-virtue, which in the Mahayana context serves as like a foundation for the entire Mahayana path, acts as the basis, the foundation for one's trainings. So we'll stop with that for this evening, and if there are any questions, you can ask them now.
We should find a way that the people
can
ask.
Hey, we were saying, Konsoki Rinchen la email Tina, Tiwa Yuna?
The love song katon here.
Yeah, love song. You know, Tanabadi Lemon Dune. Then a younger love now. So, everyone in the computer world, we mentioned before, but we'll remind you, because no questions have shown up, that if you do have any questions, please email them to lovely Rinchenla at, what's the email? What's the Santa Fe, AWAM Santa Fe email? Whatever email you email her at. Email questions to her, and then she will give them to me, and we will read them right now. So whatever questions you're having right now, maybe even jot them down right now and send them off. And for this evening, any questions that people actually present have, we will field those.
Can Rinpoche say something about what the 16 fears are?
Mm.
And maybe they are sort of outer, inner, and secret meaning.
Oh. Jikpa Chuduk.
Is it like
No.
just
Jikpa
lions or
Chuduk Dezo. Kare Kare. Gongdi Jogore Gong Lapson. Kare Dang Chi Nang Sangi Dundak Yuna.
Da tila karse. Tidang geteni da jikpa je sengi. Da yongro jikka so tani jikpa je sengi de do. Da to so da bita jinga ran zo pe na ene jikkyongwa 사교 메론 다와다 되는 나랑 저거지 에네 다 내다 야부 체발라 소바다보다
Nedun
야부 체바
Gyab Loban.
야부 체바
Say it in English. I heard him in Tibetan say
참
Tim.
Constitution.
Oh, lawsuits.
Lawsuits.
Yeah, lawsuits.
Lawsuits are, illegal things.
Trimgel.
되니 참 체발라 소바다 다 가운데 되니
어,
야부 체바서다 다 몸이 그 가서 야부 체바서 다 야부요 말아 망지 체바 아메리카는 망치 쳐봐요. 야나는 마셔 쳐봐. 어때나 되게 털었더니 아기나들이 망고 찌야오래 다 당가란 소치.
So the question was, so Rinpoche mentioned 16 fears and so forth. So what are those 16 fears, and is there a way to understand them on an outer, inner, and secret level? So that was the question. So Rinpoche said, well, most commonly, generally speaking, we talk about the 8 fears. The 8 fears referring to disturbances in the elements, disturbances from water, fire, air, and the other one, earth. And disturbances from negative spirits, negative forces, demonic influences, and such. And also lawsuits and fear of the government punishing you. Literally, fear of punishment from the king. So we don't have a king here, so maybe for us, fear of the punishment of democracy. Or maybe you're in China, fear of the punishment of communism. So those are kind of the general understanding of just, worldly, temporary fears, whatever situations can arise.
This was the cigarette. Don't market them down the cigarette in Jiquat cigarette. The look said, Savi don't want to herself. There's a tickle mother to us, money. Jake don't want to say. Don't have it. That again, that's what you get out to them. Take some pen talk about it. Because a single long can't dance this at the name of me that is all. Sang the solid young chin on my wood yato. Chi get down, chin on the yato. Been a
Jibagag in
that you look at the council. To do. Take tall it up at the a single long chain chongun, then a mango or it. The solid chin on someone was Jago and Mato.
Sang a long chin down.
That did a mango or it. Any can't the mountain just some gentleman wear it. That is what I'm keeping it. Kick now in your mother drum in a jagged open and sing a long chain. The name cards any Togru Chonku Kuma any that tender what they kicked up that is a chicken looks at the tender what they order.
So when we talk about the 16 fears, there are many on the outer level that don't come up so much in everyday life. The litany of wild beasts, the fear of wild animals, lions, elephants, poisonous snakes. New Mexico had Duke Julio and so forth. There's a list of all these different animals and the fears of these animals within the 16. But also within the 16, there is an outer and inner understanding. The inner understanding relating to the various afflictive emotions that on the outer level are represented by these animals, the lion, poisonous snake, elephant, and so forth, and also the fear of thieves and bandits. And all of these have their relations on the inner level as well, relating to one of the many afflictive emotions.
Penatene, Dr. said the council that Nani Shedan Jergodo. Any long chance at the council now, letting us on Nigel Jergodo. Oh, that the road in Copa. It is that they so trained in it. Not certainly the jet 2 miles. Teto was a young Chinans and the Mambundo.
So, for example, the poisonous snake. On the outer level, the fear of the poisonous snake. On the inner level is the afflictive emotion of anger. Likewise, the elephant, the fear of the elephant on the outer level relates to the afflictive emotion of pride or arrogance. So all of these have these different pairs like that and different levels of meaning, but we won't get into that too extensively today, this evening.
Oh yeah, da ngaranze so da ngaranze dit sabres da simje jeak ene jode sabare da muyek da padikesere tene ngaranze tene tele toyore ina yang da ngaranze ko 당고 다 람그 멍게다 오데네 잠로레 다 지나서 상매기 아니 드랭이 콜다 뱃게서 알아서 미세기 아니 잡슨 로와게 지금 알아서 아니 다 단다다 잡슨 로베 요르다 아니 잡슨 로베 거바다 드네 테솔라 아니 삼로탄스 아니 다 알아서 아니 토마르 드네 지 아니 생계 그놈 야고 삼호탄 고그래 알아서 다 디닝아란 저 가르사를 빼는 대탐지게 다 빼리 생계 탐지 동안에 들어와시 대화도 대마시 대답시 되네 당아란 저거 애니야 잠니 건초솜스 다 체랑 체 삼제네요. 또 건초라야. 파다 ngaranzu ene konchote ta ngazu kyapti tema charwa tembo charwa tene jamni konchu che ches ane konchola pa ye cheche jamro che ene ta jogdo yang ngaranzu ko manam ja nerewa tene gewa to so hoa che dos nang shos
Sakordila.
Sakordila.
So up to this point, we've been primarily focused on, and we've covered the first section on the causes for giving rise to bodhicitta. So now we've arrived at the main practice. We've begun the main practice. So initially, first, for the path to enlightenment, the very foundation of the path is, or the basis of the path is refuge, the practice of refuge. So for today, in our homework, our practice for this week should be to contemplate, think about really what the meaning of refuge is. Contemplate on the meaning of refuge, and also contemplate on the three jewels, the objects of refuge, the sources of refuge. And also on the need, the purpose and need for going for refuge. So to contemplate on that, analyze that, think about it. And then in our actual practice, then to first, as always, focus on our mindset, giving rise to the precious mind of enlightenment, bodhicitta, generating the proper motivation. For example, starting out our practice of refuge. Giving rise to bodhicitta, thinking, may myself and all beings be endowed with happiness and be free from all suffering. Oh, three jewels, you know, you understand. And then giving rise in our mind to our understanding, what we've contemplated on. Then our refuge will be stable, will be good. Then reciting refuge. I go for refuge in you, the three jewels, with this generated sense of faith and trust. Then concluding it with aspiration prayers and dedication of the virtue.
That's that is pretty young one and young solo longs. That give us so.
And likewise, right now, we will engage in this conclusion of aspiration and dedication prayers for the virtue that has been amassed in this session.
So nam de ya dam je wa ye dam ne ye be da no bam je ye je ga na je ba la tu san be so le ro wa sho jam ba ra ba we je da yin ba dang kun da